The Chicago Sky finally replaced Chennedy Carter with Ariel Atkins, and I am using this as my opportunity to extend an olive branch to the Chennedy Carter Brigade. The Ken folk, I believe you guys call yourself. I am taking this as an opportunity to reach out my hand and say greetings.
Carter just got hit with the ultimate "it's not you, it's us" from Chicago, except they didn't even bother with a breakup text. They went straight to signing her replacement like she was never even there. Ice cold. Was this a calculated move or just pure disrespect? Buckle up, because this drama is only getting started.
So Chennedy Carter is a player for nobody right now. Absolutely nobody. She is not playing basketball, and we've now got a situation where we've got one of the 15 best players in the world just not in the league.
Chennedy Carter just got served a reality check hotter than a Chicago summer. And let's be real, it was a long time coming. After spending the season taking cheap shots, side-eyeing, and playing the role of Caitlin Clark's personal villain, she's now the one on the outside looking in. And guess what? The Chicago Sky didn't just let her go quietly. They replaced her faster than a bad Wi-Fi connection.
Ariel Atkins is a good guard. She's a solid player. But they had Chennedy Carter that they chose to not re-sign, who was one of the most explosive shooting guards in the league. I put her around 2 or 3. I mean, I'm right now playing with Caitlin Clark. I give Kelsey Mitchell the edge. Right now, I think Chennedy Carter is a better shooting guard than, say, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Plum. So, I mean, she's right up there.
Enter Ariel Atkins, a proven baller, a solid team player, and most importantly, someone who doesn't bring unnecessary drama every time she steps on the court. While Carter is out here watching her WNBA future evaporate like spilled Gatorade on the hardwood, the Sky are already moving forward. Fans? Oh, they're split down the middle. Some are celebrating like they just won the lottery, while others, mainly Carter's diehard defenders, are acting like this was the biggest injustice since refs started missing obvious fouls.
It's a mad one for me, because I'm like, this is, if this was a year ago, fair enough. But the Sky were willing to take her in. And look, I get it. Maybe she wasn't the greatest in the locker room, but she was really good at basketball.
But let's be honest, Chicago wasn't exactly subtle about this. They didn't just leave the door closed for Carter. They slammed it shut, locked it, and threw away the key. If that wasn't clear before, it definitely is now. Signing a new player before Carter even had a chance to plead her case, that's as loud of a statement as it gets.
Do you have any regrets on how it happened and everything that's happened since then? I don't have any regrets with anything. I'm going to compete and play 100% hard no matter who it is, like I said, or who we're playing. No, I don't have any regrets.
And really, could anyone be surprised? Carter made it clear all season that she was more interested in playing the villain than actually helping her team succeed. The petty antics, the disrespectful attitude, it was all adding up. Sure, some people love the drama, but WNBA teams aren't looking for reality TV stars. They want players who contribute on and off the court. Meanwhile, Atkins is walking into Chicago with zero baggage and all the right energy. She's a player who knows how to make an impact without making enemies in the process. She plays smart, she plays hard, and she actually respects the game. Imagine that. And while some of Carter's remaining fans are out here screaming about how unfair this is, the reality is simple. If you can't be a team player, teams won't keep you around. The Sky saw an opportunity to build a better, stronger squad without unnecessary distractions, and they took it. That's not a slight. It's just business.
At first glance, the Chicago Sky trading the number 3 pick in the draft to the Mystics for Ariel Atkins could feel like a little bit of a desperate move, right? Chicago desperate to compete right now with Angel Reese after her rookie season. Of course, Camila Cardoso's rookie season as well. So I get that, and it's a nice rebuilding move by the Mystics.
So now the real question is, what's next for Carter? Because let's be honest, the WNBA isn't exactly clamoring to sign her. She's officially a free agent, but that means nothing if no one's willing to give her a shot. And after all the drama she stirred up, teams might not want to deal with the headache. This isn't just about talent. Carter can hoop, nobody's denying that. But being a professional athlete isn't just about skill. It's about mentality, attitude, and understanding that basketball is a team sport, not a solo act. Right now, she's looking like the player nobody wants at the pickup game, and unless she does some serious damage control, this could be the end of her WNBA career.
Year due to Carter's behavior, which apparently went unchecked by former coach Teresa Weatherspoon. There was concern within the team regarding how re-signing Carter would impact the Sky's chances of landing other free agents. And likely this was a joint decision that was made between the GM and the new head coach, Tyler Mark.
In Chicago, they're not looking back. They've moved on, and with Atkins in the mix, they're ready to focus on winning. Meanwhile, Carter is left wondering where it all went wrong. Spoiler alert, it wasn't just one thing. It was a season full of them. Chennedy Carter went from being a walking controversy to a walking free agent with 0 takers. Not one team wants to deal with her right now. And honestly, can you blame them? After an entire season of making Caitlin Clark her personal punching bag, literally and figuratively, Carter is now staring at an empty schedule for the 2025 WNBA season. And to think it could have all been so different. Maybe if she had spent less time trying to send a message to Caitlin and more time focusing on her actual game, she wouldn't be in this situation. But no, Carter chose violence on and off the court. She took cheap shots, played the villain role proudly, and acted like Clark was just some rookie who didn't deserve respect. Now, instead of guarding Caitlin, she'll be watching her light up the league from her couch, remote in one hand, phone in the other, probably scrolling through WNBA highlights that no longer feature her.
She turned to you a little bit after the fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything. That's enough.
This downfall was entirely avoidable. Plenty of players have had rivalries, but they still maintained enough professionalism to keep their careers intact. Carter, on the other hand, took it way too far. She wasn't just aggressive on the court. She carried that same energy to social, media, interviews, and interactions. And now, with no team willing to take a chance on her, she's getting a taste of what happens when you turn yourself into a problem instead of a player. The irony of all this? Caitlin Clark, the very person Carter tried to humiliate all season, is thriving. She's not just in the league, she's becoming its biggest star. While Carter is dealing with the deafening silence of 0 contract offers, Clark is gearing up for what could be an MVP-level season. She's getting endorsements, breaking records, and proving that real talent and professionalism will always win out in the long run.
And that's what Caitlin Clark has done. Caitlin Clark has changed the industry. She is bigger than the WNBA. There is not a player in the NBA right now who could come in and be bigger than the NBA. For what it's worth, LeBron James at 40 is not bigger than the NBA. When LeBron James retires, we won't blink. I'm being real. We will not, people will not blink. They'll keep watching.
Carter's options are now extremely limited. If no WNBA team wants her, she's left with 2 choices: playing overseas or taking an extended break from basketball altogether. And let's be real, once a player leaves the WNBA, there's never a guarantee they'll return. Front offices have long memories, and Carter's reputation isn't exactly making her a prime candidate for a comeback. This is one of the biggest career flops in recent memory. She had talent, she had potential, and she threw it all away over pettiness. Instead of elevating her game, she tried to tear someone else down. And now the league has spoken. There's no room for that nonsense. So while Caitlin Clark is out there dropping dimes and making history, Carter will be at home watching, wondering, and hopefully learning a hard lesson. Respect matters. Talent will only take you so far, but character is what keeps you in the game.
Teammates to the games, even just when we were trying to make the playoffs, it was a hard fight. Y'all know I went down. I had a foot injury, which cost a lot of games at the end of the season. We ended up losing to Washington. I didn't play. We lost to Indiana. I didn't play that game. I missed a couple of games to where, you know, maybe if we had our whole lineup, we could have had a better outcome. But like, as far as like that, there's a lot of just narratives being spent. And from my standpoint, you know, I had a great time, and this was one of the best seasons that I ever had in my career. And I'm not going to allow anybody to downplay it like it went bad, because it didn't go bad. It was the best season that I've had in my life, shooting wise, playing wise, living wise. Like, it was a great experience for me personally.
Chicago Sky fans are talking big, dreaming of a title run like they've already ordered the championship parade confetti. With Angel Reese in the mix, the hype is through the roof. They're acting like they just assembled the Avengers. But let's pump the brakes for a second. The Sky might be improving, but there's a massive roadblock standing in their way, right from the jump. Indiana fever. And you already know what that means. Caitlin Clark is coming. The first game of the season is set, and Clark is about to put on a show. Chicago can add all the pieces they want, but none of them come with the cheat code that Caitlin has. That three-point sniper rifle, still locked in. That court vision, still ridiculous. That ability to make defenders look like they're running. In slow motion? Yeah, that too. And let's not forget the elephant in the room. The Clark-Reese rivalry is back, and you know the basketball gods made sure this matchup happened early. Last time they met in college, it was pure entertainment. Now it's happening on the WNBA stage, with more talent, more stakes, and a whole lot more eyes watching.
Or not, the new look Chicago Sky are better than the Indiana Fever. Or realistically, whether or not the new look Chicago Sky have had a better off-season than the Indiana Fever. And this becomes the weirdest debate ever, because styles make fights. Like, that is my logic on this is my styles make fights logic. And this team is going to be such a tough out for teams. I don't know if with
Chicago fans can talk all they want about making a deep playoff run, but first they have to get through Caitlin Clark. And if history has shown us anything, that's easier said than done. Chicago Sky fans are in for a reality check, and it's going to hit harder than a Caitlin Clark deep three. They're out here acting like signing Ariel Atkins suddenly makes them championship contenders, like they just unlocked some secret formula. Newsflash, one signing isn't going to erase the struggles this team had last season. But hey, let them dream. This is the same fan base that swore up and down Angel Reese was going to go toe-to-toe with Caitlin Clark for Rookie of the Year. That aged about as well as expired milk. While Clark was out there torching defenses and rewriting record books, Reese was grinding. Sure, but let's not pretend it was even a contest. And now, after adding a solid player in Ariel, these same fans are convinced they're a completely different team.
The Fever did not come to play. They are on a mission to win now, like 2025 championship season incoming. They were so quiet during free agency. And in the past 24 hours, boom, boom, boom. Re-signed Kelsey Mitchell to a max deal. Picked up Natasha Howard, bringing her back to the Indiana Fever, where she was originally drafted. And then they just announced a three-way trade, sending Alyssa Smith to Dallas and Sophie Cunningham coming to the Fever. This team in 24 hours just got...
That's some next-level delusion. Ariel Atkins is a good pickup, no doubt. She brings defense, experience, and scoring ability. But let's be real, she's not a miracle worker. Chicago still has plenty of question marks. Their chemistry, a work in progress. Their depth, still not scaring anybody. Their ability to hang with the elite teams, highly questionable. But for some reason, Sky fans are acting like they just put together a super team overnight. Meanwhile, over in Indiana, Caitlin Clark is laughing, probably getting some shots up right now just for fun. That first game of the season against Chicago. Oh, you already know she's circling that date on the calendar. She remembers all the noise from last year.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, you know, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with.
Chennedy Carter just fumbled the biggest bag of her career, and the WNBA slammed the door shut. No roster spot, no team willing to take the risk. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here preparing to torch the league. Teams saw the writing on the wall. No front office wants unnecessary drama, and Carter's antics finally caught up with her. Talent can only get you so far when your reputation is in shambles. The WNBA moves forward, and she's not part of the plan. It's like being the last kid picked in gym class, except this time, nobody picked her at all. Clark, on the other hand, is getting ready to make history. MVP talk, championship aspirations. She's checking every box. The Fever are loading up for a serious run, and their young star is at the center of it all. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.